Previously on Elements Asunder, the party, having spent a relaxing evening and night at Forte's mansion, proceeded to deal with some business in the city that they needed to handle. JJ being applied as a potential adventurer and volunteer for the military, Forte handing in and reporting to the Pope and Empress on the success of the mission, which occurred without a hitch, though some nerve-wracking moments, and informed him that a old friend of his had actually returned. That being Alexandria Luis von Nuvella the Fourth, being a member of his old team, who was assigned her own squadron of adventurers, similar to how he had been. Though sadly, her squad had mostly been slaughtered by a demon attack, leaving only her in a mentally scarred state and one other adventurer, a female half elf known as Nora, staying in the hospital, slowly recovering as she had sustained life threatening injuries. Upon visiting his old friend, the party found that the story that Novella had given had not been 100% truthful. As it had turned out, Nora had found out that she was, in fact, a tiefling in disguise. And Nora had decided to take advantage of Nouvelle. Through implications, the party was informed that after about a month of this abuse, Nouvelle snapped and murdered what she thought to be the entirety of her party, unknowing that Nora was still alive and had locked herself in her house, refusing to eat or drink. Upon forcing some good berries and water onto her, she fell asleep in exhaustion and was taken back to Forte's Manor as the party now has to decide on exactly what to do. As it is about the afternoon, you all sit around in the guest house as Forte slowly closes the door on the room where he has placed Nouvelle to let her get some rest. You all have a decision to make.
I think we should kill her.
So, guys, when are we going to the hospital to commit murder?
Am I in the room for this, or am I still carrying her?
You are in the
I think
room.
we're all in
You,
the same
you just put her in the room and close the door.
I tell the party that I'm going to go to my study and think about how to best solve this problem.
What do you mean best solve this problem? It's not that hard. You just take a pillow and you smother her, and it's like, oh, well, she died in her sleep. I guess she got too injured.
I
It's
ignored
not that
that.
hard. You take a pillow and you just like smother her, and then she dies. It's not that hard. It's one step.
No. Hold on there. Hey, we
What?
don't want to just jump to this quick decision. I mean, aren't there things to take care of this kind of situation? Don't
Yeah, it's called murder.
isn't there a judicial system or something here for the hierarchy of it all? Why is it that we have to do this?
Well, I mean, they also like the thing that you're not considering, my guy, is that like they also just like hate thieving. So if like this Nora chick wakes up and it's like, oh yeah, like my ex teammate is a tiefling, then like Alex is gonna have like even like worse problems than before. So I think we should nip in the bud and just kill her before she can say anything. The best way to solve your problems is by murdering them.
I mean, honestly, a bit over the top, but I'd be speaking my truth right now.
I am very pro murder.
Is Forte still in the room, or has he left already?
Forte's about to leave.
basically-
Forte is conflicted.
I'm thinking, would I know any authorities that'd be able to take care of her? Of Nora?
Take care of Alex or take care of Nora?
We're not doing the mafia bit.
To take care of Nora. Make her
You
disappear, make her leave, bribe her, intimidate
you
her.
do not have any underground connections. You have been fairly straight-laced throughout your career and never really made friends with anyone that would be willing to, without question, make someone disappear like that.
Well, outside of my squad, which I don't know where they are.
Exactly.
Um,
And a majority of them are not exactly the stealth and subtle type.
is there like a seat in the
So,
room?
Forte, I have a question for you.
What's up? What's up, pal?
Should I assume the friend that you made mention of before when we were in the cart was this friend here?
That's correct. That's right, pal.
So then, what makes you think that I would trust you if a friend who's been there for years with you and this happened? And what is your honest response to this?
Every bone in my body, pal, wants to smash this person's face in. But I can't do that.
And why is that exactly?
The law is the law. I can't bring that kind of dishonor to my family's name.
There's also a law saying that you shouldn't befriend demi-humans and invite them to your party now, isn't there?
I look at the party. That might be a bit of an overextension there, pal.
I'm standing here, aren't I?
And so am I. I'm not looked on quite
That's
nicely
more of
around
a
here as either.
suggestion, pal, than it is a law. There's nothing that prevents us from doing that. The thing is, folks like her have a bad rap around these parts. Folks are superstitious. They believe that people like her come from the Nine Hells or the Abyss. It's nonsense. But no, there's no law about that kind of stuff, pal. I can talk to and communicate with whoever I want.
Can they join the military? Can I buy a house here
You can.
without the mask?
You can. It wouldn't. I don't know how well received that would be, but you definitely can, pal. Might be
So
tricky.
then why don't you see any?
To be fair, I don't know where you came from, pal.
I don't mean me specifically, I mean any demi-human.
What are you crunching there?
We
Oh, you
have
hear that?
settlements all over the countryside, pal. Some with dwarves, some with half elves, some with these giant people. Look like stone.
And how about with the tiefling?
Those don't. Tieflings are not received warmly here, pal. That's why we went through all the trouble. Besides, not all of us in the military are as zealoted as you might think. My previous squad, we all knew, pal. We are a close-knit group. If they were here, they'd know what to do in this situation, but frankly, I'm just trying to check all my options.
So then I have a question for you.
Hmm?
When you're out there and one of your comrades gets hurt or injured, what do you do to the opposing party?
This adventurer has protection from the military, pal. And the cover story being that there was a demon attack. I can't report on that. I can't report that it wasn't because I have no evidence of the contrary, pal.
So, what you're saying is we need a cover story.
I'm seeing what I can do officially about this, pal. I know the look on all your eyes. I know what you want to do. As I just sit down on a chair. That's
And
the
as-
route. If that's the route you want to uphold justice, I won't stop you. But I want nothing. I also want nothing to do with that.
On that note, I approach Forte as he's sitting in the chair. That's the look in my eyes. What's the look in your eyes telling you?
Got a mirror?
Yes, there's a mirror in the room that I'm holding up straight to his face.
Like I told you, pal. I just want to smash this Snore girl's face in for what she did. Nothing would bring
Considering
me
how
more
hard you
joy.
hit, what does that mean?
Nothing would bring me more joy than to drag her outside and beat her to a bloody pulp. But I gotta think smart on this, pal. And you do too. Like it or not, pal, you're under my watch. And my reputation's at stake here for what you do as well.
And I agree with you. To the same extent, all I've heard from you in terms of a negative is we just need a good cover story. Something they can't ask questions about, something that you can't refute, and something that someone else who would be in the same position would likely say is a different scenario. Have I understood that correctly?
Did you... I'm looking at you like questioningly. Like how are you going to bring I'm just laughing. Like how are you going to sneak her out of a hospital bed? I actually don't want to know. I'll see what connections I have, what resources I have. I want to see what lines I can call about treason.
On what grounds of treason exactly?
That's what
The
I need to
part where they-
investigate. I need to figure out. I need to build a case.
So with her being a tiefling, does laws get thrown out?
Yeah, pal. Depends on the judge, pal. If it's someone from the Holy Church, it may not look so kindly on her race. Get one of the noble houses, they could be bought off.
So we're looking at
But
very slim
the bigger
demand.
issue
So-
here, pal, isn't her.
So
Isn't
as soon
her
as you
race.
say that, actually, I gotta ask, aren't you part of a noble house?
I am, pal. Yeah. House Chevalier is House of Frontline Knights, not judges.
So what you're saying is, that you're willing to buy off a different noble house, but not put your own honor and stake at that?
I don't think you understand how politics amongst nobles works, do you, pal? My house typically stays out of this nonsense. We're a military family. We're here to fight.
But you still have a title, don't you?
And that won't get you much here, pal. I'm not the head of the house.
And who is?
I look over at Galthuk and I say, the bigger issue here, pal, isn't the fact that she's a tiefling. It's the fact that she hid who she was.
As soon as I hear that, I just approach a little bit closer and just ask, and what's the issue there?
She lied to the military, pal. She lied to her superior officers.
I look at JJ and go, we didn't disclose anything about you.
Mm-hmm. As far as I'm aware, yeah. I look over at Galthak. I'm like, don't worry about him. I didn't say anything about him, about Leroy.
And what about for your other friend here? Did her higher ups know as well?
They did not, pal. I was her higher up.
You seem to know quite a bit, don't you?
What's your point?
My point is, this seems like the exact same situation. You're sitting here talking about different solutions and different house names without yours being there at all.
House Chevalier does not have jurisdiction here.
You can still offer protection.
No, up until my pops returns.
So until isn't the rule that until the leading head comes back, the next in line should take place?
That's a funny rule. Nah, my pops calls all the shots around here, and when he's not here, it's up to the matriarch, my mom.
And where's your mom?
I think she's on a trip with her friends. It's also why I probably haven't seen the brats around either.
So with
Anyway.
both your mom and papa not around, who's left?
Anyway, pal, I'm going to go to my study and see what avenues I can take. Don't do anything too reckless. As I walk out. I would also like
It
to
is
examine for any kind of like legal books I can find. So I have to roll
Make an
anything?
investigation check. Right. Well, first off, where are you looking exactly?
House, library, my personal study. I'd assume I'd have books on the law and stuff, considering my occupation.
You don't have many in your study, but you know your father has a few.
I'll go into his study. Can I roll investigation or?
Yep. It's going to take you a little bit to find any.
I start looking.
While the rest of the party, you
I'm
guys
gonna-
have some
Yeah.
decisions to make.
Guys, just hang out here for a bit, okay? Because I have access to the Royal Library. I think I can probably find something on the matter. Hopefully, I'm gonna just hang tight. Don't make any rash decisions right now, okay? Let me go see what I can find on the subject. It's just it seems odd to me that this is not something that's come across before. Like there has to be some information out there.
Before Gelfic leaves, I have a quick statement for him. Or rather, I want to ask him something.
Yes, JJ.
Say something to him, rather. Yeah, you all know why there's not too many records about it? As I pause for a moment.
As I look at him, you could see that as I'm staring him before you, I'm all ears. I'm absolutely attentive to what you're about to say.
It's because the way it's usually done is they'll end up taking a couple people out back towards the woods, going a long trip far away from the capital. And then when they come back, there are 3 people shy and reporting casualties. When in reality, they took care of things out in the woods casually. As I'm sure the rest, my friends, this person's party did exactly the same.
As he says that to me, I kind of look down and I get this chill down my spine just thinking of this being a possibility. And I imagine I'm about like 2 feet away from him, 3 feet as we're conversating while I was turning to go. I come towards him and I put my hand up onto his shoulder as I have to get on my tippy toes, but I get on my tippy toes and I kind of reach for his shoulder and I say, I look at him in his eyes. I say, we're not going to let this happen. We need to figure this out. I'm going to do what I can to stay within my moral grounds and see how we can approach this. But she will not be treated in any more ill favor than she has already had to go through right now. Not on my watch. Bear with me, friend.
As a side question, out of curiosity, would Galthuk even actually reach my shoulder?
He'd had to jump.
I said reach towards. I was aiming for his shoulder, but I probably grabbed the top of his chest, like by his heart, and was like patting it.
Wait, has Galthuk not already killed a person?
Not out of so out of character. I have never killed anybody out of spite or hate. I've only killed out of honor, as well as protection.
Is this something I would know?
No, but
ask
if
him.
you can ask me.
Okay, cool. Hey Galthuk, out of curiosity, have you ever... What are the grounds for you to kill someone or something?
I believe my friends, my family, their lives would have to be in jeopardy. They would have to be of somebody of vast evil that would cause me to take a life. I see life as precious. I heal only because I need to. And then I think back, and I hold my sigil. As you can see on the sigil itself, the yellowish citrine look to it. And I cast light on the back of it and cast it against the wall. My friend is a child. We walked, we talked, we had separate paths. And I hate to say it, but that day when I was making fun of him becoming a cleric himself, he had lost his footing and had fallen to his death. And since then, I had always told myself that I would follow his path for us. And I would never hurt anybody that didn't deserve it. And always help as I could.
And what would you do to the person if you ever found out someone pushed him down that cliff?
As you can see, I'm looking kind of down and kind of I'm actually thinking about how I would react to such a thing. I think more than that I have not been put into that position.
Is that what you say?
Yeah.
Well, Galthuk, you can thank your god, but that's my current position right now.
And I understand. I know what would need to be done, especially since we have fought side by side together. I absolutely would dive to make sure that you were protected, as I would for Forte, as I would for Vesserin, as I would for Alfie. I would definitely put my life on the line for you. We've broke bread, we've fought, and I will definitely try to do what I can for Forte's friend. I just need a little bit of time at the royal shit. Oh, the Royal Library. Just let me see what I could do without having to resort to violence and fighting. Without killing somebody that's helpless right now.
I would like to note something that I'm shocked no one has pointed out, but I feel like I need to point out as the DM.
Mhm.
They are attempting to heal Nora, it was reported, which means you don't know how long until this person wakes up and then reports that their
I pay
commander
attention
was
to
the
that.
one that
That's why I
attacked
said we
them.
should kill her like now. Cause I'm a smart boy.
You could have you butt into the conversation, explain your perspective, Affy.
Alright, and I butt into the conversation and I very politely tell my two friends, you know, this is great. I am happy that you are all thinking about how much you want to protect each other and that like I would die for you, not perish, like those kinds of friend stuff. However, we got a bit of a situation on our hands, a real kerfuffle, a real, dare I say, problem. Because as mentioned before, so okay, Nora, she's unconscious, right? Yes, you know when you're unconscious, you can't really do stuff. However, she's not going to be unconscious forever. They're taking care of her right now. She's probably going to wake up like maybe in like a week, maybe in a day, maybe in like 30 seconds. But she's going to wake up. And when she wakes up and they're like, oh, Nora, how are you feeling? She's almost immediately going to be like, oh, hey, my teammate is a tiefling and also she tried to murder everyone. So you should go kill her. So what I propose is before she wakes up from her coma, we should put her into a permanent coma by smothering her with a pillow until she dies. Like, do you see where I'm coming from, my guys? Do either of you see where I'm coming from?
I understand what you're saying, Affy, but
Yeah.
there, right now, Nora is helpless, unable to fight back.
Yes, but we don't know when she'll wake up, and when she wakes up, we'll have maybe like 2 seconds for her to wake up because like she's not going to be able to get her bearings. Like she might still be like physically like, paralyzed and stuff and not be able to fight back and still like reveal everything and ruin everything. Which is why I think we should do it now when she's like prone and shit.
Hey, Vesserin, I have a question for you.
What's up?
How strong are those good berries of yours?
What do you mean?
Can they heal someone out of a coma?
Oh, you want to wake her up and then kill her?
I
I
have
think.
not tried.
Well, considering you were feeding the poor earlier, how'd that seem to deal on them?
Well, I do know that the effects of my berries are basically a full day's worth of nutrition, so I'd imagine they were quite happy to be full for once.
It is with that, I then look at Galvik and just ask him, so how do you feel about someone who's perfectly healthy and standing on their own 2 feet?
That is still leads us to wonder, was Nora lying or telling the truth, or was Novell lying or telling the truth? I still believe that this is something that's supposed to be out of our hands, but and I kind of look at Vesserin and I'm like, I honestly don't know what to do at this point. And as I gaze at Vesserin and kind of look back at, you know, counting through Affy, looking up at, you know, JJ.
Esserin has a look of moral confliction on his eyes. Yeah, look, I I have a question.
Is your question?
Do you think two sets of eyes in the library would make things go quicker?
Dungeon Master, would it make things go quicker?
Potentially, depending on how much you're able to understand any of the laws you read about a foreign land
Hmm.
and how good you are at looking through a library.
Fair enough.
Feston, would you consider yourself smart?
In ways,
I'm sure you'll be
yes.
fine.
Well then, Bestron's going to wild shape into a small bird and just perch on Galthek's shoulder. We'll say it's a robin.
What time is it right now, approximately?
It is about mid-afternoon. I'd say about 3 or 4 at this point.
Would anyone know when the library closes?
No, I don't know what time it would close.
Hmm.
I think maybe Forte might know. On our way out, we could probably tap him on the shoulder to find out.
All right. Well, as it's mid-afternoon, I'm assuming around three or four or so. I assume visiting hours for the hospital close at about 5, like most normal hospitals. So you got till about tomorrow morning. How's that sound for you?
I believe that would be fine. I believe we should be able to have enough information by then.
So then, depending on whatever you find by tomorrow morning, you coming with?
It might be a good idea to, if this has got to go down and it ends up going down, you and Affy might want to do a little bit of recon to see if there's a couple floors to there, if you know, any kinds of information that we can gather around the building itself.
It's with that I ask Affy, hey, you have that adventurer's badge, right?
Official one that we got from the government when we started?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, mine is still being processed. Do you want to go to the hospital, say that you're part of the military, and just going to ask for her room number?
Oh,
Get that type of information ready.
oh, wait. Oh, that's a smart idea. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I personally was just gonna like kick the door down and start like charging everywhere, like sword ablazing and stuff. But that's a smarter idea. That's a smart idea. We should do that instead. Let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna go to the hospital, everyone. Um, Plan B. I need someone to break their legs, so I'll take them in.
Affy, I don't believe anybody's going to raise their hand for that one, but I would suggest, do you have any kind of abilities to, like, I don't know,
Like injure myself?
to make it look like you injured yourself?
Oh. Uh. I mean, I can like sit on the floor and be like, "Ow, my leg's broken, ow," and then in time they would probably get annoyed and like put me in one of the rooms to shut me up. But I don't know.
You know, you can just say you're about to you're having some form of medical emergency without having that type of detail, right?
Should I tell them I think my appendix exploded?
You're
That's my
welcome to
plan
do
B if
so.
they don't let me in. But
You were welcome to do so.
But my plan A, I guess I'll go with what you said because there's like fewer details, fewer ways we can go wrong. I'll just go and be like, "Oh, hello, Mrs. Receptionist lady. I'm from the military. I'm checking in on this patient named Nora. Here's my official military badge. What room is she sitting in?" And then
Here-
the
Here's
receptionist
the
lady will tell me, and I'll be like, "Okay, thanks," and then we'll smother her. Okay.
Abby. There's going to be questions on who you are and why this person died while you were there. It's best that you don't ask for them, but maybe that you can disguise yourself in some fashion to get yourself within there, to act as if you're hurt. Maybe take a look at the files without anybody knowing to find Nora. Nora is going to be public record within the well, it's going to be a medical record that's free for any nurses or any doctors to see there, any attendants. If you can just get in there, act as if you're one of them, then you might be able to pull the information to find out where they're from. I would assume that this is a large city, so it has to be a large hospital. This will be far more methodical than to just go in there saying you're hurt and then ask, or even just asking where they're at so they can locate you after the fact.
So it is at this point I have a question for the party.
What's up?
As I casually tap on my face, has anyone else figured out how the tiefling has been changing her form?
I don't know. I don't do magic.
I
Is
am
the tiefling still
unsure.
asleep?
I mean, you can ask her later, but I don't know how to do it. I
Is
mean,
the
if you could
tiefling still
figure out
asleep right now?
how, maybe. I mean, if you could figure out how, maybe like we can find a way to like disguise one of us and then sneak in and stuff, so they can't find us again. But I don't know how. It
Is
might
the
take too much
tiefling
time.
still asleep right now, DM?
I think she's still asleep. Wait. Oh yeah, DM, is she still asleep?
She is still asleep, yes.
Thank you, Dungeon Master. Yes.
Should I take the hunch? It is at this point I It is at this point I wait. How sound asleep does this person seem?
Basically unconscious if you're going to peek in. It seems like she hadn't slept for a number of days and finally let herself calm down a little bit because of Forte.
Is she in the same room or a different room as compared to where we are?
She is in a one room over.
It is at this point I tap my face, cast disguise self using said mask, and basically put on nurse gear on top of my usual outfit, or on top of my usual body. As I cannot directly cast that, just assume that happened.
As I looked away for a brief moment and kind of come forward. Now that's what I'm talking about. That's pure. That looks exactly like you would if you went to the hospital. Definitely, this should work. You two definitely go do this. Check out, do some reconnaissance. We'll meet back here in 3 hours. What do you say?
At this point, I touch my face again and actually transform into a nurse outfitted Affy, and just say, "I'm just gonna go myself."
What am I supposed to go as? Chopped liver?
No, you go with Galthuk and Vesserin.
Yeah, but what if they see two Affies?
I don't
They're
know if Affy would be able to come with us.
to the
Are you
library.
still a bird right now?
Oh, right.
So you hear just chirp, 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 chirp.
Are Galfuck and Vesser not both going to the hospital? To the library?
Yes.
They're going to the library. I thought we were going to the hospital together.
Yes, I am saying I shall go to the hospital solo. You join those two and make sure they actually come to the hospital in time, and not lose their faith halfway through.
There's nothing that's gonna sway my faith halfway through. I believe you should probably go with Affy and stay as the nurse, and maybe you can be the one that lets Affy in, as Affy is more
Complaint
I
that I have
guess-
a severe stomach ache or something like that.
exactly, and you can walk with them.
Mm-hmm.
That seems needlessly complicated for just checking a file cabinet.
If you are providing the information, or if you're taking the information, man, I wish I had this disguise self. I would definitely show you how this is done. But and I look at him and I just all you have to do is sit Affy at a chair while you go back and act like you're filing something, but you're pulling the information. Then you come back to Affy while you're there, and you have the information and walk right out. It's as simple as that. It's not even overcomplicated. The most complicated thing was taken care of when you were able to change into a nurse.
It is at this point I roll my eyes casually, tap my face again, and basically just transition to NPC style face. Not mine and not someone in this room.
Perfect.
Alright, Affy, let's head on out. Your appendix is about to explode.
All right.
And Affy, don't forget, be stealthy.
Yes, sir. So no
Actually-
flashiness, no kicking doors
At this
down.
point, Forte walks in.
What do I see exactly? Do I see
You
a
see
bird?
two Affys, one in a nurse outfit.
No, at this point I have NPC face. Assume
Ah.
like Mr. Clean.
You see Affy and a nurse you don't recognize, along with a bird and Galfuck there.
I ignore that and just go over to Galfuck. And I tell him, we could always take matters into our own hands instead.
Mhm.
We can send out. I can send out a small party to bring her to our wizard friend back in the village, whose name I don't remember. Shit.
Oh, well, that sounds complicated. We're going to sneak onto the hospital and get like info on her first, and then figure that part out.
And what if she gets let out tomorrow?
Well, that's why we're going to do it today. We find
Because at
out the
this point,
info. Yes.
It is at this point in front of the group. I ask Affy, leave all of your weapons except one and give that to me.
Every weapon except for one, give it to you.
Specifically a dagger, ideally.
Are you thinking the magic dagger or the not magic dagger? I'm thinking the not magic dagger because the magic one will set things on fire. And I think if we set the hospital on fire, we might get in a little trouble.
The attack was supposed to be with a demon, right?
Mhm.
I ask the DM.
Yep.
Yes. Except the demon, quote unquote, is actually our tiefling friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but demons tend to be fire-based, don't they?
There's a caw of approval that comes from Vesher and his little beak.
So yeah, give me the fire
Um,
dagger.
Right.
Listen,
So I
pals.
hand over the fire dagger.
Listen, pals. We need to warn our wizard friend. Not our wizard friend. We need to warn the VIP in the other village that there's a squad coming to investigate him.
It is at this
And-
point you weirdly see the flame dagger essentially disappear into my chest.
I don't see that
Into
because I
the
wasn't looking
disguise.
at you. I don't see that because I wasn't looking at you.
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, we need to warn the VIP, and we need to hide Alex. She's not going to be safe here anymore.
Mm.
So I think we can kill two birds with one stone here, pals.
Maybe.
So
This is why it's a good thing you're here. You're the smart one.
I got a little confused when I heard Alex. Is Alex Novell?
Yes.
Okay. So at
Alexandria.
Alexandra Novell. Okay.
So
So
at this point, I look to the party and say, seems like we have enough people to do both at the same time.
Hmm.
But the problem here is, wait, what do you mean both at the same time? What are you planning?
and then that's when I look at him. I go, we had it planned out to where JJ and Affy are going to go to the hospital. As you can see, this is JJ as the nurse, and Affy is going to go in as the patient. They're going to sit down at the table as JJ will go and look to see what room our Nora would be in.
Hmm.
And at this point, me and I look over on my shoulder and I go, me and Besserin, we were going to go to the library that I now have access to and see if there's anything that can help our friend Novell.
I forget about it. I looked through all of the legal books, my pop zones, found nothing there that could be useful.
Really? Not even a single thing that could help?
There's no clause. Every clause requires evidence. And our trial by combat laws have been out of date for about a century.
Affy, ready for that hospital visit?
Yes. So to recap, I'm gonna pretend that my appendix has exploded, so I'll be like doubled over in pain and stuff. Maybe like a wheelchair or something would help. Do you have a wheelchair you can borrow?
Cannot murder. We
Yeah.
cannot murder her.
We cannot murder her. I wasn't gonna murder her. I was gonna sit in the wheelchair and get wheeled around as I complain about my appendix exploding. As we actually look for information and stuff.
It's just a
I'm a
recon mission.
sneaky boy. Yes, precisely. As much as I'd love to just like smother her and dip, I feel like that would have serious repercussions on everyone, which I don't necessarily want. Because I would feel a little bit bad if you guys all get aggressively wanted by the Empire. That sounds like a not good idea.
Can I insight to see if they're lying about that not murdering
Bro,
part?
I'm literally not. I'm not smart enough to lie about this.
You can make an insight check.
I have advantage on these. 22.
I'm assuming I can also roll a deception check.
Yep.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
Oh, Leroy's totally going to murder.
Actually.
Leroy, are you going to murder?
I mean, I've got a dagger in my pocket, but I wasn't planning on using it myself.
What does that mean? What is your plan for going there?
It means I've got a dagger in case I need it, but I was not planning on murdering someone myself.
That's my dagger, buddy boy.
Basically, Forte hears a weird pitch in my voice and can tell something's going on, I assume.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, we can't murder the woman in the hospital. That would cause
Yeah.
investigation. If you're sloppy, that would bring it back to us. And personally, I look at Galthek. We have a holy father here. We cannot do that. Our
It is at this
morality,
point I then.
our souls would forever be stained.
It is at this point I remember. All right, Affy. Remember, if we're doing stealth, you should probably leave your badge here and any other personal information that ties you directly to everyone. Yourself.
I propose that I take the initiative and tell. We take the initiative and take the matters into our hands. We can send her to warn. I could send a small group of you to warn the VIP with Alex to escape.
All right.
Everyone who was at the meeting with me, you heard that they were going to investigate
Agreed.
the village.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And do you need all 5 people to do that?
I need to plan out how dangerous the trip is, because that might be a trip through the Feywild swamp thing, or maybe going around it. I'm not aware. I'm not sure. I need to cart that out. But I need to stay here, and I need to. I quietly say that I need to file the report on her origin myself, and give some bogus information.
When would this be ready by? Or when would you be ready by?
Hmm?
When would you be ready by to go out?
I would not be able to go out with the squad.
So then we must
Correction,
travel
when-
to Eldenwind and let the mage know.
Along with Alex, and the two hopefully should be able to. Should hopefully be able to make it to safety from there. Is there like a neighboring town, Doc? Would I
To
know of?
where you currently are, to the city?
To Eldenwind.
There are, I wouldn't say neighboring towns. There are some towns a day or so away.
Mm-hmm. Would I know of any? By name?
You would probably know. Putting me on the spot. Think of town names. You would know of Larnwick, which is probably about a day to the east. It's probably the next closest.
Lonwick?
Larnwick.
Larnwick. So I informed the group that from Eldenwind, Larnwick is about a day away. So that the VIP, maybe the VIP can repair the mask, and the two could make their way to Larnwick for safety and shelter.
As I'm now looking out the window or anything similar to that to essentially take a measure of time. So I assume we're not going tonight. Probably best to travel in the morning, right? As a certain someone also needs to file their report first.
There's no report to file. I don't know that. I don't know about Alex's origin yet. I need to pay a visit.
I believe we should leave under the guise of night and
Hmm.
and let's hurry. Let's
I request that Galthuk stay by me. For
sounds
this.
So-
fair, friend.
Are you still doing the squad of 2 or 3 heading to the hospital?
I have yet to hear any substantial objections that require me to not go.
I
along with
believe
that.
we're
I mean,
belaying
we
that.
can. I think we
So-
can all go to the hospital because we're doing our own separate things. I'm basically going to be getting Nora's side of the story on this.
Mm.
So why am I needed as a nurse then if you're going to basically just go to the room and talk to them directly?
Shows off your thighs.
Mm.
But
Those are
it would
awfully
be-
nice thighs, Mr. Clean.
But I would prefer that if I'm going to the hospital, then she's already be in a cart out of the town.
Mm.
It is at this point I want to do a insight check on whether or not Forte is lying.
Make an
Go for
insight
it.
check.
Go for it. I'm not rolling a save. I'm not lying.
He's
What does
probably
that-
lying.
What does that mean?
It means I'm gonna go buy a lotto
He
ticket.
just did a natural 1 and a 20 in a save. I don't even know how that works.
Perfectly balanced as all things should be.
As I
But-
am.
But I'm not trying to lie though.
No, but JJ thinks you are right now.
At this point, I am convinced you're lying and basically just gonna murder them yourself in the room.
Mm.
One moment. You know what? Okay, how about this? I still don't see any reason that a person of the Chevalier clan house needs to go to the hospital to pay the specific person a visit, and then get your name on that record when the whole point was that
I was tasked with investigating this, pal. This is gonna fall on me, whether I like it or not. And if this person files their report, then the question will come: why didn't I do it? Did I know?
I'm surprised that you were asked. Aren't you too close to this?
He was not asked to investigate anything. They did not know there needed to be an investigation. They simply asked him to inform Alex that one of her party members actually did in fact survive. Which you did not actually do. So...
Failure as a group.
I believe, wait, no, so... I don't know, do we take the informed information that the GM gave us, or do we just still play this out as we thought we were gonna play it out? Oh, I believe, honestly, Forte, the best thing we can do is send JJ and Affy to go do some reconnaissance on this. Since there's no report to be had, because I didn't hear it when we were in the meeting that there was supposed to be a report and that you were supposed to find it. Maybe we still proceed with what we were planning on doing. See if we can find more information in the Royal Library, and see if Alfia and JJ can make it in there unseen to find out the location.
Very well. I request that Affy, JJ, and Vesserin give me their identification badges. Not to link them to anything.
His
Vesserin's supposed to be
identification
with
badge
me.
literally flies out of the bird and lands on the ground.
That is actually not how it works. You cannot access your inventory at all while in
Did you,
beast form.
Did you shoot it out or something?
I'm pretty sure I thought it morphed into my being. I thought I can control that.
It did morph into your being. You cannot control it, though. It is not accessible to you.
Also, who let the bird in here?
I'll check that.
I've only seen Vesserin turn into a bat.
No, you saw him turn into a hawk.
Have I?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you're right. I did.
Technically wasn't supposed to, but yes, you did.
Is Vesserin a
He
hawk?
wasn't supposed to.
Is Vesserin a hawk right now?
No, he's a robin.
Robin, yeah.
Who let a bird into the chambers?
This is Vesserin. He was just perching up here. We were gonna go to the library to go see what we can find.
Okay. Well, if we're doing a stealth mission, I don't want any kind of identification. I point at JJ. Do not use your normal disguise. Point at Affy. Don't get caught. I point at Vesserin. You're going to be support.
Maybe Vesserin can be a worm or something, so he can not be seen.
It would make more sense for him to be a rodent.
That's not nice.
The hospital's in the bad part, right?
The military hospital is about
Oh, it's the
halfway
military.
between.
Have
Yeah,
we
this
seen
is
like
a
pigeons and whatnot
military.
around?
You have not seen pigeons. You have seen different types of birds, including robins.
I don't know. I say Robin's fine. He can probably just fly up to the windowsill.
Okay. So that'll be
Yep.
that group. Galthic and I will check other sources.
All right, friend. And then I kind of put my shoulder
actually-
closer to JJ or Affy so that Vesser can get onto Affy's shoulder.
I do.
Actually, I think I will stay behind and watch my friend here. Make sure
As
she's
you
not
should.
bothered.
As you should. Wait till she wakes up.
Then I take back Vesserin. And
Wait, I guess
Just
Vesserin
grab
is on
him.
Affy's shoulder.
no, I take it back and say, wait, never mind. You're gonna come with me to the library. Let's go.
gonna hop back on.
And then I'm gonna ask.
You two are still going to library?
I'm gonna ask Forte. What exactly are some of the things that I should be looking for within the library that you were trying to find here?
Maybe anything about martial law, or any kind of anything that could paint a crime of treason. Anything could indicate
Vestrin,
guilt.
I will also note that this conversation's been going on for nearly an hour now, and you do remember that wild shape only lasts about an hour. You
Yeah.
transformed about
I guess it
halfway
has.
through. So
I think we got our plan.
as
I'm doing
as,
nothing.
as it starts to enlarge on my shoulder.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
fuck.
why there was a bird in the room. Hi,
Make a
hi,
strength
Val.
save.
Rip. Oh no.
Oh fuck! And suddenly, your shoulder feels much heavy. Starts to feel heavier
I'm
and
talking to
heavier.
Galthuk, right?
and heavier. Yeah,
Yes.
Can I make a dex save to try to
Let
catch?
refresh.
I don't know, Vestrin.
you certainly can.
Dex check or dex save?
Dex save.
Do I catch him?
So Vesvin, you suddenly revert back to your half-elf form as Galthuk falls underneath your weight. Galthuk, you do take 4 bludgeoning damage,
Wow.
because I rolled a d4 and that was a nat 4, as the sudden weight of a human being on your shoulder
Well, he's not a
knocks you
human
to the
being. He's
gra-
half human.
a half-elf knocks you to the ground in your full suit of armor for Forte to jump forward and barely catch the falling Vesrin.
I get knocked down and you see me just chuckling like oh my friend.
The
So-
first words he say is "Y'all talk too much."
So I'm Princess carrying Vestrin, and I'm just like, huh, that's why there was a bird.
Yeah. Anyway, Forte, is there anything specific that we should really be looking at? Like any little like details here and there, like when she's gonna wake up and stuff, or anything else?
I say room number, location, and if there have been any visitors.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah, we'll see that. And
I
we'll
would also
like,
check
see
their
how they're doing.
stats.
Yeah.
Do what you must in there.
Alrighty. So
As we shall.
let's split up, gang.
As I catch those words and I say, wait, did you really mean do what you must?
I trust Vestrin.
Best friends with me.
Is he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vestrin's supporting them.
No,
No.
Vesrin's going with
Hey,
Galthuk.
Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
It is at this point, Affy and I have already left.
Yep.
Alright. Okay, bye. Bye
Can I
bye.
ask Vestrin to watch them in secret?
You can.
You know,
But Vestrin's not
Alright.
going to be able to. Vestrin's with me.
Vestrin, have you left yet?
No, I was telling him right now. Did you leave?
No, I haven't left with them, and that's what I'm saying is like I can go follow them if you really want me to.
That would be ideal.
All right then.
All
We are
right.
leading the 2 most chaotic people in our group to do a mission on their own. Both of which have dubious moral character at best.
All right. Well, I'm hoping with the information that you provided me to look for things based on martial law and treason that I will be able to find something that's suitable to allow our tiefling friend to be exonerated.
Yes, maybe any kind of legal loopholes or clauses. Maybe something about hiding secrets from the military.
It is at
No
this
idea.
point I request the DM question to just let the library section take priority for now.
Oh no, it's not. The library section is not taking priority.
No, I
So
want
Vesrin,
to see this part.
I'm following, by the way.
So-
as soon as I
in what form?
Wait. Does Vestrin have his badge? Because I did mention I took his badge.
yes, I
took Vestrin's
did.
badge.
I,
Okay.
I handed
Okay.
it over.
Vesrin,
Okay.
what form are you taking right now?
Currently, I'm taking the form of a stray cat and following. And
Okay,
back,
let me
I'm staying out of sight. I am being stealthy.
just check something. All right, so I will add a cat as a token for you to use.
Remember, I do keep my charisma and wisdom modifiers.
Yes, but you do not keep your dex.
Yes, which is why I chose a cat.
So let me just. There we go, cat. Edit in player's journal, Kiri. So, first things first, Kiri. Well, you are able to easily catch up with them because you're actually faster than them, which was part of why I asked. But make a stealth
Mhm.
check as a cat.
Not sure I can.
I think you have to do that. Alec.
Did I not?
Mm.
'Cause it does. I have access.
I put you in the journal, but I didn't say that you could control it yet. There we go.
Gotcha.
Now you should be able to.
Aha, that makes much more sense.
So make a dex check. Dex check as a cat.
Okay.
He has advantage on perception.
So that is a 19 because it says there stealth +4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, no, that's a 17. Guys, because yeah. So, what is your passive perception, JJ, and what is your passive perception, Affy?
Oh, Lord.
My passive
well,
perception is a 4. 14, forgive me.
Mine is 12.
Okay. So, Kiri, you are able to. Vestrin, you are able to fairly easily stay hidden while following them.
Mm.
Alright.
It takes about 2 minutes of walking before Affy and JJ stop and realize they have no idea where the hospital is.
Oh. Oh no. There's been a flaw in our plan. Oh, I know what to do. Are there any random people around that we can ask for directions?
There are quite a few.
Alright. Like, I guess give me a brief description of like a couple people around us.
You see, right now you're still in the higher society part of town, so it
Okay.
seems like a number of individuals that appear to be nobles. One couple with 2 children that seem to be playing at a park nearby. A woman in a decently fancy dress simply walking past, and a set of 2 men talking about something about a block away.
Hmm.
All human.
I figured. Maybe let's go to one of the nearby nobles and ask where the hospital is.
Which one?
How
Um,
about instead we get out of this neighborhood and, find the local establishments instead of being in the rich parts?
mayhaps. Maybe, yeah.
Is that what you're
Alright,
doing?
continue walking.
Okay.
Wait, hold on, I'm reading something. Wait, give me one moment. Uh, I can use my thieves' cant for that. I believe. Yes, that's a thing I can do.
Okay.
But could I use that on noble though? That's the question. I
You
cannot
can
use it on a noble.
certainly try.
I do not think I can use it on noble.
You can
You
try.
see,
So wait, alright.
Leroy continue to walk down the street without
Oh,
really waiting.
alright. It's kind of like run, waddle after him. And as I'm kind of running, and I'm also like, "Hey, Leroy, do you think you know any slightly shifty people we can ask for directions? They might know thieves can't."
No, but I think if we get to a more populated area of the city, like where all the noise is coming from, then it's much easier and more direct to do so without raising too much suspicion.
I guess. How close are we to the nearest establishment?
Any establishment?
As
I'm guessing maybe like something that's like populated, like a store or like a bar or something. Something that's like,
Well, you see a fairly fancy clothing store not far from you.
we have previously already walked to like the both capital and to the DMV. I'm walking in the direction of the DMV, basically.
yeah, the DMV
With
is
the
You're
probably a better
walking
idea.
towards the square. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
yeah, so we'll go to the DMV because I feel like they would be more likely to know than like a random noble person.
Okay. So, doesn't take very long, maybe 15 minutes.
Mhm.
And after that, you see a decent number of people, all of which seem to be in lesser clothing, but all still pretty much human.
Okay.
Not as bad as the area where Alex's house was,
Mhm.
but this actually does seem to be more of a shopping district like area.
Okay.
With you
Um.
knowing to the north is where the castle is, and a little bit south of there the DMV.
Okay.
It
So
is at this point I turn to Affy and just go. You can probably just ask for directions here. Just say you're in some pain.
I guess. Well, actually, yeah, I don't know. Probably not like the best idea I have in mind. Maybe we should keep going to the DMV, I think.
It's not actually called
Why?
the DMV, but okay.
The Department of
Department of Adventuring. DMA.
It's actually the DAR, Department of Adventurer Registration.
Department of Missionary Ventures.
Department of Adventurer Registration.
I like Ed's better.
Department of
As do
Mandatory
I.
Ventures. Okay, you know what? Yeah, let's keep going to the DMV, whatever it's called. The DMV, I don't know
Yes.
what else to call it.
I
To
turn
the
to Affy and just
DMV.
ask
DMV, why not?
I turn to Affy and just go, why?
Well, I mean, the only other option that I can really think of that might be a good idea is to like ask like, because the thing is, it's not like the regular hospital thing. I just like the one is specifically for like people that are in the military and stuff. So the best options would be to ask someone that's in the government or to ask someone that's in the military, and I don't really see anyone who's in either of those things around us right now.
Is it a military hospital? I just thought it was a hospital containing military folk.
What's up?
No
what's
one
up?
at
Asking
any point
me,
said
or
it
are
was
you
a
asking
military hospital.
Affy?
No, I am
No.
asking JJ.
No, I'm asking the DM. At no point did anyone say a military hospital.
Hmm.
Said it was in a military hospital. This is brought up.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
fine.
yeah, I think our best option is maybe to go to the DMV. I just think that's our best option. Why are you complaining? Your legs are longer than mine.
It is at this point I shrug and just start following Affy as he continues towards this path.
I'd
Yes.
like you both to make investigation checks as you're going forward, or I guess perceptions.
Perception or investigation?
Perception.
Hmm.
Affy, as you're heading towards that area, you notice off in the distance, probably a good 10 or so blocks away, a decently large building that looks like it could easily be a hospital.
Hey, I think that building that looks like a hospital is a hospital. Do you want to check and see? JJ?
Sure. Let's head on that way.
Alright, does a building that looks like a hospital identify as a hospital?
Well, I don't know what
There
it
an-
identifies as, but
Is it a hospital, yes or no?
there is a
It
large sign
identifies
on
as
the
a
front that
helicopter.
says military hospital.
Oh,
Time
fuck, I
check,
found it.
please. How long has it taken them to get here?
It took us like
Uh,
half an hour.
Yeah, took about half an hour.
Pretty
40 minutes.
Okay, perfect. We found the hospital. Alright. Alright,
It is at
JJ.
this point, while we are by the door, basically, I grab Affy by the arm
Mm.
Just tell him shut up, relax, and hunch over like you're in a bit of pain as we just start walking inside.
All right, and I kind of like hunch over, like I have been like kicked in the gut multiple times.
Okay. So you walk in and immediately see two guards moving towards you. Identification.
I'm a nurse. I work in this building. I was coming into my shift when I noticed this person coming from the DMV. They seem to be in pain and a little bit and having some issues. I was going to take them in and get them treated.
Eh.
They look at each other. We're going to need your identification. If you work here, that shouldn't be a problem, correct?
Sorry, I left it inside for my last shift. I'm going to go pick it up though.
Make persuasion check with disadvantage.
Doesn't the one have a skill against that?
I do actually.
Oh, then make a persuasion check.
Does it work?
They let out a sigh. Fine. Just don't do it again and don't mention it to anyone. We're really not supposed to do this.
No
What seems to
problem.
be the half-breed's problem?
Who was that asking towards me or towards the half breed?
Asking towards you about the half-breed.
I'm just
Not sure.
making groaning noises of pain. I'm not saying shit.
Well, they seem a tad yellowish in the eye. They've been groaning for basically the last 20-minute walk that we just went on, and they've been hunched over, so I'm guessing they probably have some kind of pain either in the liver or appendix on the side. So we probably need to set them into a gurney, get them treated, maybe put on some vitamins overnight, if you really want to know.
Go on through. Do they have identification? This is a military hospital.
Well, they're a little in pain right now, but to my understanding, they just came from the DMV and were picking up their papers. Seems like it's taking a little bit for them to get stuff through.
Fine. If we hear you mention this to anyone, well, we'll do something. Just go fix the stupid half-breed. And they let you through.
See you next week, same time. Thank you very much, buds.
As you're walking away, you hear one whispering to the other, "Have you ever seen that nurse?" "No, but I'm not paid enough to give a shit."
What is the inside of the first area that they walked into and are currently standing in look like?
I
It
just
appears
pictured
to
a
be a
hospital.
fairly large white room
Yeah, it's a
with
hospital.
it actually looks surprisingly modern from this perspective, with white walls, a number of seats, the two guards, a large desk at the front. The outside is a little bit more medieval looking, with stone brick walls and two large wooden doors that a cat would have some issues getting through.
Hmm. Okay then. I don't know what to do.
So, what are you going to do, Beswin?
There are like spots that I could dip into in this room to hide for a second before moving to another.
The bigger issue would be getting in the door first. How are you getting into the hospital?
Well, what type of door is it?
It's a large wooden door. Appears to open outward, so towards the outside.
I see. Hmm. Yeah. Is there any like open windows or anything around?
Make an investigation check.
That'd be intelligence, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This cat.
Well, isn't your intelligence, I believe, stays the same
Does it?
with wild shape?
You
Yes.
retain your form. Oh yeah.
Your mental status.
Yes. Okay, I can do normal and then, or you can just use the roll. So it's a 15 plus 0, so it's just a 15.
It takes you maybe 5 minutes, but you're able to find an open window on the second floor. Being a cat, it doesn't take much effort for you to get up there.
Okay. Cool. What do I see looking into this open window?
You see 2 beds with what looks to be a male and a female human in each, asleep right now.
Is the
Large
door
rolling
open?
curtain that is open on each side, and yeah, a door just slightly ajar that you assume leads into the hall.
All right, then I will lightly hop my way down and look through the door. The crack in the door, that is.
You see a number of individuals in white coats and what look to be religious outfits walking through the halls. Probably a good 10 or so.
All right then. Considering I've been trailing them this whole time, would you say that I know either Affy or JJ's scent?
I would say no, just because. Actually, wait, let me double check. Does it mean? You know what? Yeah, you do have keen smell. So, yeah, I would say so. You've been with them long enough.
All right then. I will use that to try to discern their location. Give a good sniff.
Okay, make a perception check with advantage due to your keen cat smell.
Sweet.
You smell them downstairs. It shouldn't take you that long to track them down, so we will go over to them.
Okay.
Affy and JJ, what are you two doing?
I am following JJ.
Well, as we passed through the lobby, or rather got into said lobby, I'm
Well,
assuming there's some.
actually, I would like Affy to make a performance check as you are going through the hospital.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You are attempting to put on a performance, acting like you are in pain.
What about deception? Can I do that?
Performance.
Deception.
Give me a performance check.
I hear
are not-
deception check.
You are not trying to lie. You are trying to put on a believable
But I'm
performance as of
technically
right now.
lying to everyone.
Affy. So,
Fuck.
as Affy is walking behind JJ, you hear Affy going, "Oh, the pain, the pain,"
Jesus Christ.
What's the
being
closest thing I?
pretty obvious that they're faking something.
It is at this point I look to Affy, tell him shut up, don't even bother, and just walk with a limp.
But my stomach hurts.
Then act like it.
Mhm.
Just be you.
Affy has also been clutching his chest this entire time instead of his stomach.
Just be you.
That sounds like
He's a hard
horrible
thing.
advice, my friend.
Just keep clutching something.
Okay.
So, JJ, what are you going to look for right now?
It is at this point, so I'm assuming we're in some form of waiting room in the lobby.
You are currently in the lobby, yes. There do appear to be a number of people waiting on the seats and a receptionist at a large front desk.
It is at this point I go up to the receptionist at the front desk.
Hmm?
leaving Affy telling him to sit in a chair, or sit in a chair close to the front, rather.
Okay, I guess.
The receptionist appears to be filling out notes of some type and does not even look up at you as you approach. This appears to be a red-headed woman, human in a simple nurse outfit, similar to
Is there a
yours,
name?
actually.
Is there a name tag?
There does not appear to be.
Okay, cool. So after seeing this person and then basically not even looking up, I basically just ask, hey, I got this person who is feeling a little bit sick from the DMV. I'm gonna take him inside, get him a test. Mind giving me the new admission paperwork, please? I'll get him to fill it up.
He just hands you a clipboard with a number of pages that appear to say admission on the top before going back to her own writing.
It is with this. I give it to Affy with the mention of just fill it in truthfully. Truthfully.
Quote unquote truthfully.
Truthfully.
Does Affy say this or do you say
No,
this?
I say this as a player.
Okay.
Alright, I
And I
guess. Okay. And I start to fill out the paperwork.
Okay. JJ, what are you doing while Affy is kept busy?
It is at this point JJ begins to walk behind the reception desk. Basically make sure that he's behind the receptionist, so basically she's not looking at him.
Make a
And
stealth check.
there, I need it. I'm supposed to be there.
Make a stealth check. You're trying not to be noticed still. That is still high enough, so yep, you move behind. What are you looking for?
I'm assuming there's some type of filing cabinet.
There is, yes.
It is at this point I begin to look for admissions that came from about a week ago, along with the person's name, Nora.
Make an investigation check. It's taking you quite a bit, and by the time you actually find admissions from a week ago, you find that there are two different individuals named Nora. Both happen to be half-elves. One on the second floor and one on the fourth, in rooms 211 and 410A.
Why is one floor numbers and letters? Okay, whatever.
It depends on
It
whether
is.
it's a double room or a single room.
Fair enough. It is at this point I casually
Affy
just
has also
notify.
finished the paperwork at this point, is just kind of awkwardly staring at you.
I assumed as much. It is at this point that I casually walk back towards Affy, grab the clipboard from his hand, take it back to the reception, and again, has the receptionist noticed me?
Nope.
Cool. I'm just going to unclip the first page, the one containing basically all the information Affy wrote down. Keep it in my hand as I tell Affy to just walk with me.
Mm-hmm. And I follow.
So where are
So,
you guys heading?
So let's go up first and head on to the fourth floor, shall we?
Sure.
All right, you guys
Hey.
head towards the stairs.
Is this It is at this point we head on to the 4th floor. I also tell Affy to basically just grab onto the rails and go on the slower side.
Okay.
Is there any presence of anything on the way beyond just other people?
There's a couple of people going up and down the stairs, but beyond that, nothing really.
Cool. So I'm assuming we get to the 4th floor.
Without incident, yep. At this point, though, as you're heading up the stairs, once you get to the 2nd floor, you keep going up. Vesrin, you have caught them on the stairs at this point.
I've caught
Would I
them on the
not be-
stairs at this point. What do you mean?
You see them going up the
Okay.
stairs.
Okay, got it.
Would-
Cool. I'm gonna follow then.
Would neither of us notice a cat just in the staircase, though?
Make a stealth check, Vesrin.
Roger that. And keep in mind, I'm dependent. Like, how is this staircase set up? Is it like
Round one.
it's a round staircase, spiral?
Yep.
Okay. Then I'll just use long angles to my advantage. Yes. Small.
JJ, what did you say your perception was?
My passive perception is 12.
Mine's 14.
Affy,
Mm-hmm.
Remember
you
+4?
yeah, it already put the plus
Oh,
4
it
in.
did. Oh, yeah, it does put the +4 in. Well, then why did we add more than the
Affy,
other one?
you notice, oddly enough, there appears to be a cat following you.
Oh, because I did.
Hey, look, a cat.
And JJ, what did you say your passive was?
12.
12. Okay. And Vesrin, what's your passive?
Juggling sheets. 18.
As Affy stops to point out the cat, Affy, JJ, and Vesrin, all of you notice that there appears to be a nurse about a floor down beneath you guys that appears to have stopped moving also.
Are they looking at us, or
Are they looking at the cat?
They're looking at the two of you.
and have they said something, or are they just watching us walk up the flight of stairs?
Just watching. Seems almost like they're
I-
somewhat suspicious of you.
At this point, Vesserin is going to be internally going to go, fuck, and bolt out in front of this nurse and go, meow.
Okay, well, Leva, if you would be so kind as to enter and make a grapple check.
Of course.
Welcome, Fred.
And for those viewers at home who would like to know what Leva looks like, it is that.
Good.
I'm getting her
Everyone-
number.
Yeah, just what this campaign was missing, a big titty goth GF.
Indeed.
So that was grappling, right?
Yeah, you are
So
attempting to
that's
catch the
strength.
cat, so make a grapple check.
That's a strength.
What is your AC as a cat?
12.
Leva jumps forward and grabs you.
This one be a feisty fella. Ooh. Just jumping immediately at the moment I see it. Nice. Who's a good kitty? And I start like scratching behind the ear.
I just go with it, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. This is big goth GF. I'm just gonna let the cat cuddles happen.
Being completely confused as to whatever the hell's going on, I think me and Afri are just going to continue
Walking.
up the steps.
Yeah, I just
Uh,
keep
Okay.
walking.
Can I help you by any chance?
Vesserin is now purring.
You say this with cat in hand?
Yes, I say this with cat in hand, and I look directly at both of you.
This one's sick and been admitted. I'm showing them to their room upstairs. 4th floor.
Make a
I
deception
see.
check.
Make a what check?
Make a deception check, Leroy. You are convinced that this nurse believes that the half elf is injured. And is probably a pretty bad nurse because of it.
I see. That's unfortunate. Okay. There are some empty rooms at over in the 3rd floor over there. Why don't you use one of those? It's probably a lot more convenient.
I don't know. I got the room from the receptionist. I kind of don't want to mess with the organization.
Levi,
Already been
you've
signed
been
off.
here long enough to know the receptionist does not do anything.
The receptionist. I see. I see. That's fine. No, okay. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, on your way, I suppose. I'll take the. I also just let go of the cat, and
Can I insight this?
You can.
Sweet.
Inside what?
Her belief.
This nurse believes that Leroy is an idiot, but does not believe that Affy is injured at all. You can tell by the way she's looking at Affy.
Well, all right then. Vesserin's just gonna perch on part of the staircase and just kind of sit there.
That
and I
implies several things.
Leva will go to the direction of the receptionist.
Okay. Leroy and Affy, you guys continuing up to the 4th floor?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh God, which one do I spy on now?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
That will be much harder to answer as you feel your form beginning to refer back into your half-elf version.
Oh.
The cat
been
suddenly
about an
ducks
hour.
underneath the the staircase.
Does that make a sound by any chance?
It does not.
Okay.
Damn. I so wanted a poof.
So, now we have 3 different splits in the party. Vesrin, are you going up or down?
Well, I'm sitting here. I'm gonna paint you a mental picture of what's going on underneath the staircase. Vesrin is sitting under here with his hands crossed, thinking, how the fuck do I get out of this one? And he decides that he's going to follow the downstairs one, but first he's going to cast Pass Without Trace.
Okay. You cast Pass Without a Trace. Are you heading down to the 1st floor?
Yes. And I am well, the first thing I do is I'm going to try to get back, or I'm going to try to find some sort of like bandage, medical supplies of some sort.
Well, you are in a staircase right now, so
Yes, so I'm
there's not
obviously
going to
moved
be
out.
any.
Yes, I'm going downstairs first. Back,
Okay.
or was I upstairs or downstairs when I came in? Like, what floor was I on when I came
You
in?
are on the 2nd floor.
Okay.
You caught them. This whole conversation happened about halfway between the 2nd floor and the 3rd floor.
Okay. I will then look around the 2nd floor a bit to try to find some sort of like
Make
bandage.
a stealth check
Got it.
with disadvantage. You're in not the easiest place to hide. 20. Okay. You are able to, just being very careful, sneak around and doesn't take you that long to find a room that has a spare bandage just around.
All right then. I am going to take those and wrap them around my head as if I was treating a head wound using my medicine knowledge.
Make a medicine check. Hey, 1 second. JJ, did you take both of the files about the Noras with you?
I did. I took the papers into my hands.
Okay, that's what I thought. Vesrin, you kind of sloppily wrap the bandage around you. You do have medical knowledge, but you've not really had to use it on yourself that often. Usually you just use healing spells if you're injured.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
you think it's probably good enough.
Is there a mirror in the room?
There is, but that's very close to the bed where there is an awake
Sleep.
patient, and even with Pass Without a Trace, you're pretty sure
Yeah.
you'd be noticed.
Okay, that's fair. I'll just take it as yes, and the whole purpose of this was to try to blend in a little bit, so on further stealth checks, hopefully I don't have disadvantage.
The issue is you have shadows clinging to you. So you're either
Oh,
gonna have to drop Pass Without a Trace and try and act like you're a patient there, or you're gonna have to try and sneak around.
okay.
This is getting funny.
Which are you choosing to do? Are you keeping the spell up, or
Okay. I will keep the spell up. I'll keep the bandages on just in case I do get spotted though. After that, I am going to sneakily go downstairs, like watching out for people and stuff like that, and try to listen into or get as close to the reception desk as possible without being like in danger of being seen.
so as you slowly open the door to the stairs, being lucky that no one has actually gone into the stairwell since you've been sneaking around, you think to yourself, probably would look more suspicious and be easier to be noticed if I was trying to sneak around rather than just walking around near the reception desk.
I don't think I understand what you just said.
There is nowhere to hide in the
Okay.
main reception area.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
you would essentially be walking out, or everyone would see a half elf
Yeah,
crouched, walking out of the stairwell with shadows clinging to them.
gotcha. Well, if there's no, can I hear anything going on in this main room from the stairwell?
Make a perception check.
Okay.
You don't hear anything specific. There's conversations going on, but you can't really make any of them out.
Okay. Well, deeming this as a lost cause, I will go upstairs. And having heard JJ say something about going up to the 4th floor, I will go that direction.
Okay, so while Vesrin has been sneaking around, Affy and JJ, what have you guys been doing?
We're going to the first room to check on Nora #1, right?
We're going to 410A, yes. Should I
Yeah,
assume
to check
in
on
this,
Nora #1.
what I assume is like the last 5 to 10 minutes we've made it to said room?
I assume so.
Yep.
We both walk inside and I make sure to close the door prior, like after us. What do we see? Who's there? What's
You
there?
see two beds, one containing a female half elf who appears to be asleep with a bandage around her head and rest of her covered in blankets, and nearby her a female human who appears to be hooked up to what looks to be a machine with a small pump helping them breathe.
Mm.
I'm assuming there's a curtain in the middle, in between
There
them.
are, but they are only about halfway drawn right now.
Are they both asleep
is
or is the other one awake?
They are both asleep.
All right, perfect.
You
a nice
also
and
don't
quiet.
know what Nora actually looks like.
Okay.
It is at this point I look towards the medical charts. I cannot read most of it in terms of the medical gibberish, but essentially I'm reading for because there's usually some form of report
How they
of
got injured.
admittance. Yes.
Yes, exactly. I know it'd say if there was like some kind of like fire or like demon related attack.
Looking at the medical chart, it appears as if the Nora here had a bad head injury as they were traveling nearby a wall that was being constructed on. A rock fell and hit them in the head.
Damn it, wrong Nora. I think. They could have lied about it. That's the thing.
Does the location stand out to me? Like, does it match?
You
Does it
have
match where?
it doesn't actually mention the exact location. It just mentions falling object from construction site.
Also, they could have like covered the attack maybe.
Is there injuries only on the head? As I aim
Are
my
you
nurse's
going to
outfit?
attempt to take the blanket off? There's only injuries listed on the head on the medical sheet.
As I tell Affy to wait by the back end of the room to not be seen from this person, essentially like the head of the bed, just in the corner of the room. In my nurse's outfit, mind you, I basically just pretend to fix this person's sheets, checking to see if there are any other injuries below the head.
There does not appear to be, but as you look back to the head, you see her eyes open, and she's just looking at you, going, "Oh, what are you doing?"
Hello, miss. Sorry, we just had to check on you, as any person with head injury typically takes note that we want to make sure that you're doing just fine. Sorry for waking you. I don't mean to disturb.
Make a deception check. Whatever. Turns over and closes her eyes again.
So, just to confirm, I saw no injuries or nothing that would indicate some form of
You
battle or
saw
fight.
a
Is it?
hospital gown, but it didn't look like any other injuries had occurred.
Cool. It is at this point I walk to the door and just point with my finger, telling Affy to come join.
Gotcha. They keep going.
I make sure to close the door behind us.
Okay.
Actually, just prior to walking out the room, at the door, with my face turned behind, so basically no one in the beds can see, I basically tap my face and change with the same form, just change my face strictly.
Okay.
It is at this point down, using not the same flight of stairs, the one on the opposite end of the hallway.
So a different staircase.
Yes.
Okay. As you are going that way, Vesrin, you arrive without incident to the 4th floor, opening the door and not seeing anyone.
All right then. What do I see in the fourth floor? Is there like areas to duck into, hide while exploring, or?
It's a fairly open place. It doesn't really seem like there'd be very many places to hide. It's a
Mhm.
white painted hallway with a tile floor.
Why don't I? Oh, I'm so confused. Why wouldn't I see any? Oh, okay. I guess. Well, where does the hallway turn then?
It turns a bit, probably a good 20, 30 feet down the hall.
Okay. Uh, I will keep pass without trace up and go to the corner and peek.
You do see a door closing at the end of the hall that looks to be a staircase door.
Interesting. I will go over to said door and see if I can stealthily open it and catch a glimpse of whoever it was.
Make a stealth check. Have you kept Path Without a Trace on?
Yes. For
Okay.
this, yes.
You slowly open the door and see Affy and a nurse you don't recognize walking down the stairs.
Alright then. I will very quietly close the door behind me and trail them.
You're going to follow them?
Mhm.
Okay.
At a distance.
Affy and JJ, you guys heading down the second floor?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. As you guys head down, you arrive at the second floor and you see there are a couple of people walking through the halls, but not too many.
So let's go to our room.
It is at this point while at the staircase rather, tell Affy to, you go one way, I go the other. Let's meet at the room. To basically circle the hallway.
Got it. And we do so.
Okay.
I shall take special note to say to basically just go into the room separately.
All right.
So essentially, first you see Affy walk into room 211, and then you see a nurse walking maybe a second or two later.
You see a single bed with the curtain drawn.
Okay.
Since
I
I was
kind of like.
following them, did I see which room?
I would say so, yeah.
Who are you
Okay.
following? The nurse or Affy?
Yes.
I would
I
have
think he
chosen
was
to follow
following
the
the
nurse,
Affy.
thinking it was JJ.
Yes. I assume you're probably like behind the door or so. So who's pulling the curtain back as I look at Affy?
You're the nurse. I didn't go to nursing school.
Fair enough. As I pull back the curtain.
Vestrin, are you going in the room?
No. Have they closed the door behind them?
Yes.
Is the door solid?
It is.
Can I hear anything from outside of the door?
Make a perception check.
I will note both me and Affy are whispering.
He is able. You are able to hear them with a 21.
Nice.
I'll just keep listening in. I'm gonna drop Pass Without Trace and just lean up against the wall.
Well,
Not
well,
listening anymore.
I'm still listening. I'm like, I have my ear basically close to the door.
oh, it is at this point the next sound you hear will be the rustling of curtains. What do we see, DM?
As you open the curtains, you see what appears to be a badly injured blonde half elf. Half her hair long, the other half seemingly burnt at the ends. Her face is covered in cuts and bruises. And the white sheets that cover her body appear to be stained deep crimson red around the chest. And before we get your reaction to that, Vesrin,
Mhm.
you hear footsteps coming up behind you.
Okay.
Excuse me. Can I help you?
I am going to.
This half elf appears to have some very badly wrapped bandages around his head.
Are you injured?
I was. I'm feeling much better now. I'm just waiting for a buddy of mine who's in here. The nurse who checked me in. I just wanted to say thank you before I left.
Make a deception check with this. Actually, no, you know he's lying. You saw him listening
A
in.
buddy, you say? And is that really a thing to do for a buddy? Like just listen in, like to a conversation.
For their own
Hmm.
protection, yes.
Mm,
Trust me,
I
my buddy
see.
is not exactly the brightest.
So you're certain your buddy is in there, right?
Mhm.
And I open the door, and
Fee and JJ, as you stare down at the bloodied crimson red blanket,
Well, no,
you suddenly
correction.
hear the door open behind you.
We hear the door open, or
You both hear the door open.
I open the door.
Hmm.
Well, you did say friend, but I didn't expect multiple people here. Can I help
Keep in
you
mind,
all?
I'm not.
With a Leva says this with a smirk on her face.
Random nurse NPC states, uh, this one seems to have got lost in the hallway and was looking for one of their comrades.
You can
As
drop the
as I'm
act now. I already know it's you.
and
What
what you mean
act?
by that?
You're the one here that, and I point to Allie. Is that her name? Is that his name?
Affy.
Affy?
Affy, I am a boy.
Affy. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. I point towards Affy. This one here was the one I saw running around, like not running around, but walking around with saying things like, "Oh, my stomach," while clutching his chest. And I've seen you guys go up to the fourth floor, saying that you guys
Mind
would
you, I'm a
be.
different nurse now.
Mm.
It's obvious.
It would be, yeah, to this character.
I mean, I can roll an insight check if you want me to.
I'm not going to make you.
It's fine.
Look, what do you have? What is your business with this person here?
This person has a lot of incriminating information towards people in the military and has caused a lot of headaches throughout various various people of interest within both my party and the surrounding area.
I see.
We will go.
Interesting. So she had more enemies than I thought.
And at this point, I just kind of like pipe up and just like, is she dead? Because we didn't get a look yet, but it looks like she got like stabbed in the chest or something.
Well, I assume you took the notes for her condition, because it was missing when I went to the receptionist. Did you take a look?
Pulls out slip from void chest, basically.
Oh, oh, that's pretty. I suppose that's pretty convenient.
It does come to your mind, JJ. You probably could have checked on the files that said the room number what their diagnoses were as well, and not had to go to the fourth floor.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but that's less fun.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Well, if you had taken a look, you would have seen that she's had many pretty nasty wounds here and there. It's a miracle that she came in alive when she was. That
Hmm.
is, and a missing arm. So sad, so sad. Unfortunately, as you can see, she's not responsive anymore.
Sven is just standing there awkwardly.
And I incite the non-responsiveness. Like,
Honestly, give him
maybe.
advantage because I want to do the same.
You can both make an insight check.
You're both free to take a look. Take a close look.
Dirty.
Vesrin, there's something off about this nurse.
Can I do an insight as well?
I'll allow it.
Sure.
Ah, shit.
Vesrin, there's something off
what-
about this nurse.
What tripped it? Was it the way that she's talking, or
Is with the
Yeah,
cleavage.
a little bit, and there seems to be sort of a cold look in her eyes, from what you can see.
Every time I'm looking at that corpse, I'm
Person in bed that may or may not be a corpse.
I'm trying to hide some emotions.
I am going to, with a very serious face, say, "Seems you didn't like her very much either, or perhaps there's something else there." Kind of just putting in the notion that he sees through it.
Well, you're not wrong.
Can I insight?
technically.
Can I insight Veserin's statement? 'Cause I'm still
No,
confused.
no, you cannot.
I'm still confused here.
You are very confused.
You're not incorrect with that, actually. Unfortunately, well, the answer that she holds, or rather, you said there were information that she was holding. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to get them anymore from her.
Oh, so she's dead?
Well,
Oh
means we'll
no,
have
that's
to
such a tragedy.
see our investigation elsewhere.
Oh, that's so tragic that she's dead. Oh my god.
Then.
Are you
Question.
trying to sound as sarcastic as your character?
I'm trying to sound slightly genuine. It's like, I mean,
Make
like,
a
on one hand,
deception check at disadvantage. You are not for a second believing that Happy thinks it's a tragedy.
man, at the point I kind of just like mutter, like,
Indeed.
man,
After
I
this, he's
such a
going to point
tragedy.
out, "I did say my friend was stupid."
Lev was looking at her nails and just being like, indeed, such tragedy. Indeed.
yes.
It is at this
I
point
just-
with whatever random nonsense going on that I will actually go and inspect the body in the bed to confirm if there's a pulse.
Make
I
a
just
medicine
love
check.
that the two moral characters aren't here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hilarious.
It's just beautiful.
I also check to see if
This is
there's like
terrible.
eye movement.
There is not a pulse, and as you roll back the eyelid, there is not any eye movement, and in fact, the body feels fairly cold.
Just
Seems like they've been dead for probably the time it took you all to argue about what you were doing in the mansion, sneak into the hospital,
Wait, I have an
go to the
important
fourth
question.
floor,
I have an
in the
important
wrong
question.
room, come back
Dungeon
down to the
Master.
second floor. Yes.
Did the corpse shit itself?
Are you
I am not
checking?
checking that.
yeah.
Affy, would you like
I
to
am-
check if the
Question.
corpse shat itself?
I mean,
Question.
you would be able to smell it. What is
Real
it?
question. Affy has a point. Would you really need a check?
Yes,
No.
because it is to be assumed that this person would have been unconscious before this, and likely would have had a setup so that they wouldn't just be shitting the bed while in the hospital's care.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Alec, you and I have to have a separate conversation about how
Is-
medicine works at a
That's
hospital.
not how bowel movements work. Was there
Is
anything in the
Affy-
bowel at the time of death?
Yes, how
No.
stinky is it?
Would you like to check?
Would you like to check?
No.
I'm
No.
not
I
there
am
to
not checking
check.
that.
No, thank you. And at this point, I kind of just like turned to this like new contender, and I'm just like, oh, so it looks like she's been kind of like stuck real hard in the chest over there, since she's bleeding and stuff. That's pretty conspicuous.
It is at this point, Leroy, genuinely happy, looks straight to our new nurse friend and goes, "Hey, you want to meet the rest of our friends? Come on back with
Yeah.
us."
Yeah, and just hear me kind of like muttering under my breath, like,
Excuse me?
man, I wanted to fucking smother someone. My day is ruined.
You still technically can.
Have a
But it's
muse.
dead. What else can I smother?
Interesting. Your friends.
Uh,
Are they like
ig-
you all?
Ignore this
Oh,
one.
the other two
as a-
are much stabler.
They're
I
more
see.
No, no.
lawful.
As I'm pointing to Affy, I say ignore this one. They're more like that one, as I point to Vesrin.
More
No,
like.
that one's also a pyro
Can I roll
maniac.
insight on that?
Please.
Yeah.
Listen, you can love to burn things down and still have a sense of moral justice.
Like,
I'm here to
objection.
prove
That feels wrong.
that.
You could make an insight check. You're pretty sure they're all idiots.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I go, interesting. Well, that's an interesting proposal. I mean,
Well,
your proposal actually does mean that I am to abandon my duties here at the hospital, and for God's sakes, just forsake all the people that are injured here.
It is at this point I ask with a very stern face. So, is the responsibility of a nurse typically to cause harm to their patients as they're here?
Did I say I did that?
can I
The wound
inside that?
and I take the file from his what's his name again? JJ?
JJ?
Leroy.
Yeah, I take the file from Leroy's hand and I read out the injuries that she came in with. Uh, major cuts along all across all bodies, cold burns, especially in the shoulders and the chest area, and a missing arm with a giant stab wound into the center of the chest. And I close the folder and I go, don't you think that even if I did so, even if I did something, it would be a miracle if she's alive right now?
Is it really medically known as a giant stab wound?
Yeah, we were amazed when we saw all of that, and she was still breathing. Not very
Huh.
well, mind you, but yeah. But
I suppose.
she
I
tried
suppose if you're
hard.
going to. I suppose if you're going to file stuff, as I pull out the other file, you should probably put this one back too.
Hmm. Yeah, I probably should. I hope you didn't scare her by any chance. The poor girl.
Sound
She got hit
asleep.
in the head by a rock. Oh.
Sound asleep. Don't worry about that.
I see. All right. Well, in that case, I might be able to take off your offer. I am basically free for now. No, not many people coming in, and I suppose once my superior tells me there's more work to be done, I'm free basically.
When
Cool.
your superior says there's more work to be done, you are free.
I'm more of a go to the mountains and procure medication type person around here. Unfortunately, even though we are a military hospital, we're not exactly
Well, if that's the case, what's your profession exactly then?
my profession. Well, I suppose a helper. We're in here mostly.
Interesting.
That's what I've been doing for the last, I would say, 2 years now.
Hmm.
Can I insight that?
You can. Leva, I'll allow you to make the call of what they
It's
sense.
it seems like it's a bit truthful, but like there are things that she's hiding there. There's definitely things that she's hiding.
It is at this note I tell her to, you know what? Cool. How about when you're free? How about meet at the local tavern, the one closest square that me and Affy walked past? Uh, when your shift ends, say around 9 later this evening.
That would be wonderful. I would like to. I would like to. I would like to get along with you, interesting people. I wouldn't. I won't. I don't see anything wrong with this. And level will take a. I guess you want to write it on the note on. You want to write it on the notes that you're carrying right now because those are patience folders. But she does make a note of the time and place, and she goes, "I'll meet you all there. I hope to see your friends too. They sounded lovely." Knowing that no one has mentioned anything about the other two.
We didn't mention
It
how many other
is
friends we had, though.
Well,
She didn't say
the guys-
anything about two. She said
no.
she just said the others.
Ah, yes. Never mind.
It is. The door is still closed. Yes, or has that been opened?
I left now. I have left now.
Mm.
It is at this point, as walking at the door, as same as before like fully leaving. I tap my face and turn into a doctor's outfit as I begin to just leave. Essentially,
Hmm.
I will let Affy and Vesserin do as they please.
Okay. It's kind of like tap, like vest on the shoulder. I'm like, hey, so like I know we're like gonna meet her in like the evening and stuff. We're gonna figure out she's gonna join, but before we do, there is actually something that I want to kind of like group everyone together to talk about first. Mildly important, kind of. Not
You
100%
say?
to Vestin.
Oh,
Not
we're still
100%.
not.
Yes, I know. But later, it's like after we all like all of us join up again, like the 5 of us. Not 100% related to this per se, but still quite important.
All right then. Keep that in mind. There's an open window on this floor, over that direction. We could hop out of that if we didn't want to be seen.
Affy does like hopping out windows.
I would like to state this to both of them separately, that we're on the second floor. It's fine. As I go to the hallway.
You want to hop out the window?
I'm kind of feeling the window.
Let's hop out the window.
Okay. Are you opening this window?
Wait, let's not
that's-
open this window. We might get framed.
Exactly.
if we-
That's the open window
Wait.
on the second floor that I came through that the two people were sleeping in.
Possibly. Okay, Vesserin, how about you take that window and I'll take this one?
Do we really want to open that window?
Well, I mean, how else are you going to get out?
We could both go through the same window.
Not wrong.
Yeah, but okay, so think about this, because it's very easy for people to kind of just like notice us hopping out the window. So, but if we go out of the same window, people think we're together, and then we're both going to get in trouble. But if we're separate, then there's less of a chance we're both going to be caught together, and it'll be fine.
I could cast a spell that makes it so it makes no noise.
At what point do you just see Leroy actually outside of the hospital, walking outside now?
Not just yet.
Or perhaps we should just use the front door. But that one seems kind of
It's lame.
sketchy.
It's just lame. I'm sorry.
Or you could go out the front door because you were admitted and I could hop out the window.
Okay.
Or you can simply choose to open this window and risk framing yourself for actions you didn't do.
I love how complex this is.
I'll take one for the team.
I salute Affy.
Take what for the team?
Please don't frame yourself.
And I very carefully yeet myself out the window.
Oh,
Carefully. How do you
Affy.
carefully eat?
What? 1 second. What floor
walks
is
over
this?
to the window, opens
They're
it
on
up.
the second floor.
and jumps out the window. How high up
Carefully,
is
carefully.
Why
the
is this a theme
second
of?
floor of
Why
a
is this a theme with your
hospital?
character?
Because it's fun.
Let me just check something.
Is this like a flaw for Affy? It's like if I see window, must jump out of. Auto defenestration aficionado.
Affy, I need you
Yeah.
to make an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
What the fuck
Effie
is wrong with me?
Looks
Yeah.
down, aims carefully, and gets ready to go carefully before slipping, falling, and landing 2 stories down, 30 feet down, taking 16 bludgeoning damage as he lands on his back.
I survived.
You should take the damage off your sheet.
I will. How much damage?
Immediately,
Wait, how much?
the
16?
loud crash is heard.
Wait, 16 damage, right?
16.
Yes.
Alright.
Several people turn and run over. One going, did you just fall out the window?
No? Mind your business.
Am I there? Would I have
No.
noticed?
Would you have left the hospital?
I guess
Oh
I
my
would.
god.
I guess I would be like in the first floor or something, but
You hear a loud crash outside.
Oh my god, why? It's going so well too.
oh boy.
JJ, you having just walked out the front door of the hospital, hear a loud crash from around the corner.
Veteran at this point decides, distraction, and walks downstairs.
As you see a number of people coming out of the hospital, running around the corner towards Affy on his back, covered in wood from broken crates that he fell on.
Oh,
would
boy.
would you say that the
Christ.
guards that were at the door were very concerned about this loud racket and went to go check?
Yeah,
Okay, I slip out and I take the bandage off, stuff them in my bag, and look over like, what the hell happened?
I slipped.
see? It's at this point you get a whiff of what you landed in.
Did I land in shit?
You landed in soiled sheets, crates full of soiled sheets that were being sent to go get washed,
Damn.
which
Ugh.
had the smell perfectly
Ooh.
contained until you crashed through the wooden lids. You also
It
notice
is.
there is a chance you may have gotten some things in your newly created wood stab wounds.
I'll survive.
Oh, speaking of, you also take 6 piercing damage from the splinters.
You did not tell me about this.
You're right, I didn't. I'm telling you now because I just realized if you jumped out a second-story window, landed on a bunch of crates, you're gonna get some blood. You're gonna get some piercing damage also.
You're a piercing damage.
At this point, the guards look at you, look up at the second-story window. One whispers something to the other, who walks away, and the first one walks up to you and goes, "Do you want to tell me what happened?"
No.
At this
No.
point, at
I
this point,
think.
at this point, when she says no, I'm gonna speak up and like, you actually didn't. Actually jumped out the window, even though I specifically said not to.
The
With-
guard
with that-
stops and turns towards you and goes, "Why did this person jump out the window?"
She said she
Veteran's
was-
gonna walk over and be like, oh, my poor moron friend. I'm gonna walk over and put my hand on him and cast Cure Wounds and say, I am so sorry about this. He's a handful, to say the least. I've been looking for him everywhere. I wondered where he went.
According to him, when he was taken in, he said something about the pain unbearable and saying jumping out the window probably would be the best thing to do for him.
He has this fixation in his mind where jumping out of windows are the only solutions to his problems. He did it in a tavern in the town we were at before this because he got so drunk and he needed to clean the vomit off of himself, is what he said. So he jumped into a snowbank.
Leva,
It's
make a
in-
deception check. Vestrin, make a persuasion check since you're not actually lying.
Wait, that's not a lie? Holy shit.
Oh no, that happened.
It happened.
Oh no. Okay. All right.
Okay,
so-
okay,
Okay.
okay. 22. The guard looks around, goes, I really should take him into get questioned.
Would that have stopped the second guard from coming up?
Oh
'Cause I
no, the
tried-
guards are. Oh, you stopped the second guard before he left?
Yeah, I wanted to say my thing before he left go upstairs.
I would say yes with rolls like that.
Okay.
Who just
Oh,
looks at the
perfect.
first one. We
This is at this point you
probably
see Leroy just across the street walking away.
should take him in for some questioning. Are you guys going to say anything to the guards saying that as they begin to
Oh.
reach for Affy?
Are they talking to each other or?
And each
Yeah,
other
okay.
and you as they begin to move towards Affy.
Okay. And what do I say? I'm gonna say if you're concerned about his physical well-being, I can assure you that I can handle it. I myself am a druid from yonder parts, and I have another member in my party, a cleric, who would adequately be able to treat his severe wounds.
We're more concerned about the potential of them being criminally insane.
Not criminally, just a hazard to those who care about him.
And themselves.
Yes, I'm very.
They look at Leva. You work here, right?
Of course.
Can you deal with the paperwork?
Yes, I suppose I would have to, wouldn't I? Of course. And I head towards the receptionist area. Get some
Keep him on a
papers.
leash. Fucking
Yes,
half-breeds. They both start walking off.
I'm going to then help Affy up and say, "Now you need a." As we
You
walk.
need a
away.
what?
A bath.
Okay. So, with that, it is 12:15. I think we will end there. As Affy and Fesserin walk, one of them soiled, back towards the mansion. I will likely. We'll start off next time with a quick thing in the library with Cray. With
Can we just roleplay with this in private?
Galthok, would you rather do it in private?
Yeah, we can do that.
If you want, you could still record it, and we could do a mini episode thing of that.
Yeah, that sounds cool to me too.
Okay, so when would be a good time for both of you for that?
I'm good Sunday.
Good. Tomorrow?
Maybe
Maybe
tomorrow.
You know what?
tomorrow?
We'll discuss this after we finish the recording.
Sounds good.
Yes.
So with that, as you have gotten away with a successful heist.
Question?
Espionage?
The
Trick?
music is so fitting right now.
It really is.
Task failed successfully.
Task successfully failed.
Seriously. Are we still recording?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
we are still recording.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna finish my sentence though.
At this point, I
As
think
you
it's
all-
gonna be cut.
As the three of you have met a new potential ally, kept your promise of not murdering anyone, but did not keep the promise of not getting noticed, you proceed to walk away, heading back towards the mansion to meet up with the rest of your party.
You're
As
welcome.
you plan to meet at 9 p.m. in about an hour and a half at the bar nearby to discuss with your new nurse friend, Leva, who you have not actually gotten the name of yet, now that I think about it. And with
She
that...
gave her name.
Oh, okay.
No,
And with-
I haven't.
Yeah, I don't think she did.
I've never
With-
said my name.
With that, we will continue this questioning events next week. Thank you, guys. I
Yay.
hope you had fun. And please fill out the survey.
Alright.
Make sure to like and subscribe.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out, hanging out, watching the yet another adventure with Elements Asunder. I want to say thank you again. Just a heads up, we do have a Patreon, we have merch, we have all kinds of stuff. It's all found in the information below. If you want to go ahead and hit that subscribe, be greatly appreciated. It does help out with everything. So definitely like and subscribe. Hope to see you next week around the same time as I post this up, as well as keep in mind every Saturday, 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm doing Curse of Strahd, where I'm the DM. So thank you. Thank you, everybody, for coming in, hanging out, and enjoying your day with us, or night, or afternoon. Take care, everybody.